just under 1 year ago, I had less than 200 followers in my Twitter/X account. And fast forward to October 2023, I'm about to get to 3,000 followers. But most importantly, having the right marketing strategy and sales funnel that allows me to make literally 10 times as much money with 1/10 of the amount of followers that my competition has, okay? And this video is going to be all on how I grew my audience on X or Twitter fast, but most importantly, without paying for retweets or using paid ads. And listen, guys, I'm not going to be holding anything back in this video. I'm going to show you how to get followers, how to actually nurture your following, how to build a brand, and most importantly, how to create an organic content ecosystem that actually compounds over time. And listen, guys, before we continue with this video, I just want to let you guys know that this document that you're about to see, you can get absolutely for free by joining my free Facebook group with the link in the description. And I want you to watch this video at 2x speed to actually see the information that you gotta see, and most importantly, implement the stuff that you're going to learn in this video. As always, thank you for watching. So guys, like I was saying, I'm going to do a breakdown of everything, and I just want you guys to see a summary of the previous 28 days of my X/Twitter profile. I've been able to get 1,134K impressions, and right now we're at 2,826. As a matter of fact, I think that I have a little bit more, especially because this is a document that I put together like 2-3 days ago. Right now we are at 2,881. But as you can see here, this is actually stuff that I've been doing, and the reason why you should trust what I have to say, guys, is that I'm not like a super big influencer. As a matter of fact, I come from the rock bottom when it comes to content strategy, when it comes to actually having a following. And what has allowed me to grow my business and most importantly make money from my Twitter profile is what you're going to learn in this video. Funny enough, I wanted to start this video by actually just showing you one of the ideas that I shared one of these days in my Twitter profile. And it is this post that says, it doesn't matter what you sell, everyone should have a YouTube channel or podcast to demonstrate competence. And that's what you're looking at right now, like my YouTube channel or my podcast in case that you're listening. And an X or Twitter profile to share ideas if you have any, okay? And the reason why this is so powerful, guys, is because, as you're going to see in a second, X/Twitter is going to be the future of marketing, okay? It's going to be the future of social media apps when it comes to marketing, when it comes to having an online presence at all. Not only because Daddy Elon is the one that is now taking charge of everything, but the reality, guys, is that a lot of people are now starting to make money from X. And most importantly, now we're starting to see live streams inside of the app. We're starting to see videos. We're starting to see a lot of stuff. And I think that, again, this is the best time for you to start leveraging this strategy so that you can get more followers and most importantly build an audience, because right now it's still early for you to actually come in and start leveraging all of the trends that are going to be happening in the next coming months, okay? Listen, guys, just 3 weeks ago I made this video titled Twitter Marketing Funnel to Get Followers and Clients. As a matter of fact, if you want to watch that video after this one, I think that is going to be really complementary, because that one talks about the client acquisition and the actual conversion or sales process that I use for my Twitter profile. This one is going to be more about how to grow a following and how I build my audience on Twitter. But listen, guys, just 3 weeks ago, I made that video where I was talking about how I was making over 10K per month back when I had under 200 followers in this platform. And listen, guys, that was a very good video, but honestly, it flopped, okay? Nobody watched it, so I'm just going to do like the first half of that video in this one with a little bit more detail, okay? Which is, again, the traffic and the actual growing the platform, okay? So if you like to learn about audience monetization, I recommend you go and watch the other video after this one, because this video is going to go through audience building or audience growth, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. The first thing that I want you guys to know is that the organic reach that you can get from Twitter is actually phenomenal, okay? As long as you follow the strategy that you're going to learn and you start incorporating videos to this platform, the amount of nurturing that you can create is enormous, guys. And mostly because almost nobody's sharing videos inside of this platform. So I really think that there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of demand right now if you actually come in and start creating content inside of this platform. What I want to share with you guys, first of all, is what I believe to be the reason why most people never get to build a real audience in any platform for that matter. And it comes down to the idea of a lot of people share how-tos on how to do stuff like, hey, here's how you do this and that. But there's not that many people who talk about how I did something, okay? And when you actually start to shift the way you share your content by instead of talking to other people, like if you were on the top of the pyramid just talking about, hey, here's how you should do that, here's how you should do that, here's how you should do that, and you actually shift in terms of doing stuff and then just sharing what you actually did with your audience, that's when things are going to get super simple. People are going to love you and people are going to trust you more than anything else, right? And the prerequisite to having that approach literally comes down to, well, you got to be doing stuff outside of trying to grow on Twitter, okay? Because the people who grow on Twitter the fastest are those people who have something going on that allows them to share something in whatever niche or strategy or whatever, right? So here's the thing, guys. When it comes to growth and audience building, I want to start off by talking about two main topics, okay? The first one is profile optimization. The second one is going to be the content cadence, aka the type of content that you can share, and the exact content schedule that I myself use nowadays to essentially share my ideas and get traffic to my profile. And at the end, I will be breaking down my plan for this 2024. Okay, so guys, when it comes to the foundational work, I want to start off by talking about profile optimization, because most people will have you write an I help statement and being super clear and specific about who you help, how you help them, having a unique mechanism, etc. But I think that that's complete bullshit. Much better, in my opinion, is just be clear about what the outcome or the expectation people can have, assuming that they either follow you or want to do business with you. As long as you demonstrate that, and as long as there's clarity in terms of the communication of value with your audience, you're good to go. And as a matter of fact, I think that is even better, because the reality, guys, is that everybody's following the same formula, and everybody is just like, quote unquote, faking it till they make it. And that's why I believe that if you actually use your own brain and you actually start to think outside of the box for you to, come up with something that at least raises the interest of the people, that's like a shock factor that allows you to stand out right from the bat. Okay, so what you need to demonstrate is status in some way, shape, or form. As long as you're able to demonstrate a clear difference between where you're at and where your prospect is at in regards to something, it could be a skill, like if you know a lot about cold email, talk about cold email. If you know a lot about Instagram Reels, talk about that. Like, what I'm trying to say is ultimately demonstrate the difference in status in one specific topic with your profile visitor, okay? As long as you do that, you're going to be good to go. And I want to share my example, because if you go to my profile, you can see that I literally just say, hey, I'm building Royland, a sales system licensing and co-management agency. And then a link for people to know what my offer is all about. Super simple, but it works phenomenally well. And listen, guys, something that I've noticed to work really well, not only on Twitter, but on social media in general, is be bold. For example, if you like books and coffee, add a banner related to that. And this applies to any special hobby or subject that you're particularly interested in, because again, what you want is to actually demonstrate that you actually pick a side when it comes to demonstrating your own personality, your brand, and the things that you actually like, okay? Because if you're building a personal brand, most people go for the branding part, but they forget the personal part, okay? And that's what you gotta be focused on if you're trying to do this, okay? What's ultimately important, again, is just the status. Why should someone consider following you? And most importantly, like, are you doing something or sharing something that is different? Keyword in there is different from what other people on the platform are doing, okay? Because if you go to Twitter, especially in this little corner called Money Twitter, here's what the average account looks like nowadays. Everybody says like, hey, I help CEOs and founders use Twitter as a lead gen source. Hey, I'm helping B2B companies book 5 to 10 more qualifying appointments. Oh, I get your business appointments. You see, like, everybody has the same bio. Like, hey, basically, here's my offer, do business with me, okay? And again, it's not that doesn't work. It's just that right now, since everybody's doing it, it stops working to the level that we want it to work. Does that make sense? So that's why we actually want to be able to demonstrate some personality, not only in our content, but also in our bio. And just want to be clear, guys, like, there's nothing inherently wrong with any of these bios, except for the fact that everyone has literally the exact same thing. And again, what you want is to be unique. So that's why this type of bios really don't serve the purpose of having them in the first place. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to profile optimization. I now want to talk about the pinned tweet, okay? And that's literally like a pinned post that you can leave at the top of your profile. Okay, if you see my profile, what I have is just like a 1 hour long training and sending people to my Facebook group. That's literally all I do when it comes to a pinned tweet. But let me talk about the purpose and the rationale behind having the pinned tweet and how you can leverage it to your advantage. The pinned tweet is something that most people don't use at all, okay? And one of the best things about Twitter is that the links that you share inside of the platform, like in your posts, in your content, are actually clickable. Like, if you go to for example, if you go to this post that I made the other day, like a little bit of a blog style post, this one, you're going to notice that I shared a link to my YouTube video, okay? And this link is clickable. Like, people, if they click it, of course, they go to my YouTube video. The same thing happens when it comes to the pinned tweet. You don't want to aim for virality. It's like a second bio, essentially. And what you want to do is expand or do some sort of lead magnet or share something that further adds to the delta or to the progress that your prospects can expect to get from following you in the first place. Since the goal of your social media profiles is to demonstrate the delta that makes you worthy of being followed in the first place, especially since on Twitter, thankfully, are out of the equation in this platform, you want to share something that makes people immediately shake their legs upon reading your pinned tweet, okay? So let's say that you have a unique bio that talks about how you are the best on the world when it comes to building sales teams, for example. And then your pinned tweet is all about the step-by-step process that you use to build your first $1 million sales team and the SOPs that they can follow, the best places to hire and train appointment setters or closers or whatever it might be. And then it just further enhances the delta you created from your profile. If you're able to do that in the right way, guys, I promise you that the amount of people who follow you are going to be immediately skyrocketing, number one. And number two, if you actually are smart, you're going to have some sort of funnel that sends people either to an email list, to a Facebook group, to your YouTube channel, or to some other places where you can now start the conversion process on autopilot. And again, go and watch the other video because that's where I show you about the conversion process. That's an automated way to nurture your leads and have a sales process on point. Of course, you also have the manual way, which is DMing people on Twitter, but you get my point, which is most powerful in my opinion. But that out of the way, let's keep talking about this. Like I was saying, this is the example that I have. It's just sharing for free one of our 20 plus client acquisition systems to sell coaching and agency offers. And I basically just shared everything and say, hey, if you want to get the document, just join my free Facebook group and a link to join my Facebook group. Super simple. But again, like this is what I do because it makes sense for my offer and for my unique assets, okay? For you guys, for example, you can share client case studies, you can share a direct offer breaking down exciting features, you can also talk about the specific warranties that you have, a unique method that you use cases of that specific method in different niches, a value-based thread, sharing insights on something related to your business or to your niche, a lead magnet, your YouTube channel, an invitation to the Facebook group, etc. Okay? What I want you guys to understand is that you simply want something that makes people immediately think that you're a savage, and bonus points if you're actually a savage. Okay? So that would be it when it comes to the passive composition, like how you optimize your profile and how you set up your pinned tweet. I now want to talk about the more active stuff, which is like the actual content you create and the way in which you go about getting traffic to your profile and ultimately use the social media platform. So in order to do this, I want to just share with you guys the content cadence that I generally like to follow, okay? Because now that you're optimized with your profile, it's time to generate attention and make people visit your profile / get traffic in the first place. Most people will have you engaging and doing random comments on big accounts to grow, which, let me be honest, it can definitely work and get you some extra eyeballs, especially at the beginning when, of course, nobody knows you. But I believe that that's just focusing on the wrong stuff. If you're using a social media platform to grow your business, that means that obviously you have a business, right? And if we have a business to run, and we're wasting our time simply commenting, hey, I agree with that, definitely critical to start applying, you look like a clown and nobody's going to take you seriously. So what you want to do is get your priorities straight. And what you should be doing instead is focus on your business, gather unique insights that are related to your business, to your niche, to your type of clients, to the thing that you do as a living, and start sharing those insights inside of Twitter. Because in order for you to just share something, you gotta do stuff that you can talk about. And if you're not doing anything, guess what? You're going to only be relying on things that you don't know about, which is absolute trash, or you're going to be copying other people's tweets just to get some attention, but you're never going to be seen as an expert. Because the details and the nuance is where the money is at. So important that you actually share those unique insights that you get from your business. People who grow the fastest on Twitter, like I was saying before, are those that have something special that they can add to the conversation. Let's take a look at my content schedule. This is what works for me, and I just want to give this as a free gift to you guys, essentially. Of course, you can do much more, but this is like what I like to do. What I like to do is from Monday to Sunday, I share my ideas and thoughts. Sometimes it can be like 5 posts, sometimes it can be 1, sometimes it can be 0. Okay, but whenever I have an idea that I want to share, I share it with you guys. That's literally the core of Twitter. And what I like about it is that I can just reshare that in other platforms, like copy pasting or just adding it as a story or whatever it might be. That's the first part. Then on Mondays and Thursdays, I actually post YouTube videos because YouTube is my main platform where I share content, okay? So what I like to do is reshare that same video inside of Twitter. I do a giveaway based on what I talked about in that video. And on top of that, what I do is that I break down the topics that I talked about in my YouTube video the next day on a thread or type of blog post type of post inside of Twitter. So essentially, it's like Monday and Thursday YouTube video where I do a giveaway based on whatever the video was all about. And the next day, the day after I post the video, I just talk about whatever the video was all about in blog format. I want to just break down the different types of content that you can use so that you can start growing your profile, growing your audience, and most importantly, nurturing your profile, okay? Because that's another thing. Most people just want to get followers and followers and followers and followers. But what matters most is how engaged and how much these followers do know you and they trust you as a content creator or businessman or whatever it might be. The first type of content is what I call ideas. This is the type of content that simply share opinions or build up your character with your audience, okay? And what I like to think is just share whatever you believe in, okay? Like literally, it can be a little bit random. Like if 25% of the time you're actually talking about deep and unique stuff that you get from working on your business, you can be pretty much random 75% of the time. Like literally, you can just talk about music. If you go to my Twitter, I talk about music that I like. I share animes and panels from manga that I read and that I just enjoy. And that's actually for the right type of people, aka my ideal clients. I start to be seen not only as the expert in client acquisition, for example, but they also start to develop that familiarity outside of just business, meaning that I actually do build a personal brand outside of just ROI land, which is my business. Make sense? And that's what makes this actually powerful. And again, the best thing about this type of content is that you can talk about anything, and Twitter makes it very easy to reshare in other platforms. For example, you can make a tweet and you just reshare it as a story, as a Facebook post, as a LinkedIn post, or whatever it might be, okay? So that's the first one, ideas. The second one is threads or proof of competence type of content, which is what I mentioned before, which is essentially like blogs, etc. And in the past, these were limited to actual threads since Twitter didn't allow for long-form written content. But a couple of months ago, we're now able to write literally blogs, long format type of content. And I think that is really, really good if you actually leverage that to your advantage. What you want to do when it comes to this type of content is be super specific and share things that are unique, okay? Because the problem is that most people, a piece of content title like, hey, here are the 5 tips from Alex or Motion how to create an irresistible offer. Super commoditized, nobody cares, you're just being one in a million, okay? Instead, if you take a look at the best performing pieces of content that I created, literally come from insights that I gathered from being in the trenches. For example, one of these days I made a tweet talking about the easiest way to sign clients through the development of trust and familiarity, and I tried to shift the beliefs from my prospects and my audience, because most people think that content is key, just getting traffic and getting people to see something, which of course is really important. But what I was talking about is that content is a traffic and nurturing asset, not a conversion engine. And when you actually add the conversion engine or the touch point where you can actually convert attention into sales, that's where you can actually leverage whatever social media platform you're using to your advantage, okay? And again, I actually went more in depth talking about different ways in how you can do it. Whenever people read this, the amount of leads that you get is out of this world, guys, because you are actually demonstrating that you know about something you're talking about, okay? And again, this is just an example. Like, if you want to go to my X profile, I'll go ahead and you can watch like an idea on what I mean by this. The third type is giveaways. And these are hands down the best way to send traffic to your profile and get followers by far. Like literally, if I can attribute one thing to me growing my profile is giveaways, because I do like 1, 2, or sometimes even 3 per week. Trust me, it's possible to get 1,000 followers from just one giveaway that you do. If you do it right, and of course if it goes semi-viral, etc. Okay? Again, these giveaways are essentially lead magnets or assets that you offer in exchange for a combo of retweets, likes, comments, or followings, okay? And if you do this right, again, you can get up to 1K followers from a single post or more, honestly. And what I like about this approach is that whenever I do my giveaways, I like to test angles or different variations of the thing that I'm offering that I'm also going to do, as I told you guys before, on my YouTube video. And something that I like is that I can almost predictably know if my YouTube video is going to perform or not based on the engagement that I got from my X or Twitter profile, okay, or my post, sorry. And it comes down to how you actually phrase the thing that you're offering so that you can see like the response of the marketplace in regards to that. If you actually see that there's a lot of engagement, then I like to title my videos in something related to that so that I can have a little bit of a more informed decision whenever I create my content, okay? Essentially, I validate my ideas and angles on Twitter, and I notice the demand. And then based on the demand, I see if I should create an angle similar to that one on YouTube or if I should test something different, okay? And the last type of content, which is something really, really new, is videos. And believe it or not, since there's so much demand for video inside of the platform and so little supply, reach is enormous in here. And of course, this is not for me to say, hey, you should do Twitter video instead of YouTube. I think that YouTube is king when it comes to video. But if you're doing micro VSLs on Instagram or TikTok, I will repurpose that content inside of X so that you can get that extra reach and most importantly, that extra nurturing to your existing audience on Twitter, because now they are going to actually see a video of you. Makes sense? It's not just reading random stuff that you can share. Before we continue with the video, and I share with you guys the organic content plan that I have for 2024, if you're finding any value whatsoever, or you think that this video is being helpful in any way, shape, or form, I would really appreciate it. You leave a like, share this with somebody else, and even better, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you are actually using Twitter, if you're not, like what's preventing you from using Twitter, what you like the most about Twitter. Let me know about all of that in the comments. I will be reading you and replying to you guys, okay? Just to end this video, I want to talk about the organic content plans that I have for 2024. And I know that this is not sexy, this is actually super boring, but I want to double down on what worked and continue doing it, period. Because I think that consistency above everything else on a single platform that builds all of the other ones is what has allowed me to be here. Of course, I'm not the biggest YouTuber. I'm not the biggest, guy from Twitter. As a matter of fact, I think that in general speaking, I have a really small audience. But the truth of the matter is that this approach has allowed me to get really engaged and quality leads. And most importantly, has allowed me to monetize my brand to almost 7 figures by just having YouTube, Twitter, and basically sending all of my traffic to my Facebook group. And that's it, guys. Literally, it's super simple, but it's working really well. So I just want to keep doing what is already working. Here's my strategy. I will keep YouTube as my main platform, and I want to create between 2 to 3 YouTube videos every single week, which are then converted into, because this is the beauty of YouTube, I can create these 2 to 3 YouTube videos into 2 to 3 Twitter giveaways per week, 2 to 3 Twitter videos every single week, 2 to 3 Twitter threads, blogs per week, 2 to 3 posts, videos per week, 2 to 3 Facebook group posts per week, 2 to 3 Instagram stories per week, and then 2 to 3 newsletters every single week. There's a lot of content, and all I gotta do is focus on creating 2 to 3 YouTube videos that I enjoy doing anyways. And that's it. Literally, that's my content marketing strategy. And on top of this, I'm going to keep Twitter or X as a place where I share my ideas whenever I have them. And that's literally it, guys. Nothing sexy, just the boring work. And listen, just for you guys to have an idea, on the day that I wrote this document, it was October 3rd, 2023, and these were my stats on my platforms at the beginning of the year. If you actually go close to the YouTube one, you can see that I started on January 1st with 366 subscribers in my YouTube channel. Right now, I'm actually at 1,142, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, right now I'm at 1,142. And it's again October 9th right now. But you can see like the growth has been exponential. Like we're not even done with the year, and I think that we're going to be able to get to 1K and a half at least by the end of the year. And all I've been doing is, again, focusing on giving value, creating content. And number 2, when it comes to Twitter, on January 1st, I was at 952 followers, and now I am at 2,800 and, well, let me show you exactly, 2,881, okay? And again, what have I done? All I've done is what I just shared to you guys absolutely for free, okay? So guys, I promise you, if you follow this strategy, you're going to not only get leads, you're not only going to grow your audience on Twitter, but more specifically, you're going to be able to finally start to monetize your audience and start to develop a real relationship with your followers, which is ultimately, if you're a business owner, what we care about, okay? Not only about the followers, but how much our followers are paying us and the meaning that our business and our products and our offers have in the marketplace, okay? So guys, hope that this video was helpful. There's a link in the description so that you can see what working together would look like. You can see all the details in the link, but yeah, we have a coaching component, we have some e-learning material, but you can check more with the links in the description. And just to end this video, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.